A lot of people who were parentified as children don't even realize it until much later in life. Maybe you were called mature for your age or such a good kid. But what was really happening behind those compliments was something else. You weren't just mature, you were stepping into a role that wasn't yours. You were acting like the adult in the family because someone had to. Parentification is when a child is forced to take on the responsibilities of a parent, either emotionally, physically, or both. Instead of being cared for, you became the caretaker. That might have meant taking care of your siblings, managing household duties, supporting a parent emotionally, or solving problems that were far beyond your years. It's not always obvious, and it doesn't always come with trauma that looks loud or dramatic, but it leaves a lasting impact. If you were a parentified child, you probably learned to ignore your own needs early on. You might have felt like it was your job to keep the peace, to make sure everyone was okay, and to be strong no matter what. And now, as an adult, that mindset might still be with you. You might feel uncomfortable when things are calm. You might feel guilty for resting. You might take care of everyone else but have no idea how to take care of yourself. The good news is that healing from this is possible. It's not easy, but it is absolutely worth doing. The first step is acknowledging that what happened to you wasn't normal and that it wasn't your fault. You didn't fail at being a child. You were never supposed to be in that position. You were forced into it, and that's not something any child should have to experience. This isn't about blaming your parents. It's about facing what really happened so you can move forward. As you begin to work through this, it's important to look at how these experiences still show up in your life. Are you the person everyone comes to with their problems? Do you say yes, even when you don't want to, just to avoid letting someone down? Do you struggle to rest or enjoy yourself without feeling guilty? Do you find yourself constantly drawn to people who need saving? These patterns didn't just appear. They were learned behaviors formed as a way to survive. When you were young, they served a purpose. They kept things together. But now they may be holding you back from living your own life. One of the most important things you can start doing is setting boundaries. This will probably feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you were never allowed to have them growing up. But boundaries are essential. They help you protect your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. You don't have to justify your limits to anyone. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you healthy. Another key part of healing is separating your worth from what you do for others. When you grow up being praised only for being helpful or reliable, it's easy to believe that your value comes from what you give. But that's not true. You are valuable even when you're not doing anything for anyone else. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn love. You don't have to constantly prove yourself to deserve kindness or peace. You might also need to practice receiving care. That might sound simple, but for people who are parentified, it can feel really difficult. Letting others help you, support you, or even just listen to you without trying to fix things, it can be incredibly unfamiliar. But receiving care is something you deserve, and it's a skill you can build. Start small. Let someone do something nice for you without pushing it away. Let someone be there for you without apologizing for it. Processing all of this on your own can be overwhelming, so it helps to find safe spaces where you can talk about your experiences. Therapy can be a powerful tool for unpacking the patterns you learned as a child and learning how to build new ones. Journaling can also help, especially if you're not used to expressing your feelings. You've probably spent a long time keeping everything inside, but it's okay to let it out now. Finally, one of the most transformative steps you can take is learning how to reparent yourself. This means becoming the adult you needed back then, giving yourself compassion, letting yourself rest, creating structure, safety, and comfort for yourself. It means noticing your needs, even the small ones, and meeting them without guilt or shame. You may never get the childhood you deserved, but you can start creating a present and future where you're not constantly carrying other people's weight, where you're not stuck in survival mode, where you get to feel safe, supported, and free to be yourself, not just the version of you that takes care of everyone else. It takes time, it takes effort, but you're not broken, you're not weak. You adapted to something you never should have had to go through, and now you have permission to unlearn those patterns and build something better, something for you. You don't owe anyone your constant effort, your emotional labor, or your exhaustion. You owe yourself care, rest, and healing. You were a child, you did the best you could. Now it's time to let yourself grow, not from responsibility, but from real, genuine freedom.